Okay. Sorry. So, welcome everyone to Midweek with Max. This is Rick, joined by Joshua, and of course, Hemi's co-founder Max Sanchez, and Dr. John Greenwood, the hardest working man in crypto. So, without further ado, let me kick it right over to Max.
All right, everyone, welcome to another Midweek with Max. Quick engineering update. We've been making some updates to the smart contracts for the Hemi staking system. So we sent those out and just got back the audit reports for those, making a few minor tweaks. It's one of the things that we'll be launching right at around TGE. So I'll be posting some info on the staking mechanics and also the economics of that in the near future. Also working on just getting a few final miscellaneous updates into the Hemi Network repository before we do our V2 tag and formally release that, and also release updated op-geth and Optimism images with the new Hemi Network V2 dependency. Doing some final testing there, getting a little bit of lint in, but that should be coming likely later this week. Also working on the HBITVM white paper, so we should be getting that out very soon. We're in the final stages of doing some formatting updates and writing some minor conclusion pieces. So that should be coming out soon, and then we'll be doing a engineering AMA special edition to go through that white paper and discuss that in more detail. And we are also, all systems are moving on getting to TGE, so unfortunately do not have an announcement to make today, but I think in the very, very near future, probably before the end of the week, we'll have something. So with that, I'll turn it over to Rick.
Oh my. All right. So does probably by the end of the week outweigh ultra soon? Just
we may be into Phil's favorite, ludicrously soon.
Oh my. All right. We may be at ludicrously soon. That's incredible. Okay. Well, I know it was just addressed, but because it was asked 8 times, Max, when tokenomics information?
Very soon. Ludicrously soon. I think all of the tokenomics are finalized. We're just getting that in a presentable form, and we will post that probably before the end of the week. Possibly early next week, but probably before the end of this week.
That's incredible news. Okay. And then, obviously, the follow-up with 9 questions asked, when TGE?
That will also be announced in the very near future. And I understand everyone's frustration. There's a lot of moving pieces to make a TGE happen and make sure it's going to be successful. So we have some third-party dependencies, but I think we've gotten those under control and can put together some hard timelines from that, which is what we're going to be doing this week. So very, very close. Still nothing, no details to announce at this moment, but very, very soon.
Ludicrously soon is better than ultra soon, so we're doing it. Max, I don't know if you saw the stickers, but someone made a bunch of stickers, and now Giga Ultra Soon is a new term that folks are using.
Oh God!
All right. It was asked 5 times. When merch?
We did have a merch initiative, and then ended up getting distracted working on other more important things. So that is something we want to revisit, but no exact timeline or information on that.
All right. Okay, moving on to the points section of the AMA. When will AP, what the hell am I doing? When will LP points on Absinthe be fixed?
Still doing a full points audit right now. Absinthe has been working with us daily on this. So LP points, staking, there was a couple of outliers, like for Tether Gold, that for some reason kind of never got fixed with everything else. And so the answer is, not to give you very soon as well, but the external dependency there is on Absinthe to reindex that, which they're doing right now. So a couple of things. So I would assume this week. It usually takes like 48 hours to reindex. If over the next couple of days you see points disappear or kind of weird things happen, as much as possible, I would disregard any weirdness in the next 48, 72 hours. This has happened in the past. This one's really big as we move really, really, really close to acting on those points. Things need to be accurate. So we've basically gone back and taken manual snapshots along the way to compare, as well as use two different methodologies to look at points. Caught a couple of different glitches here and there. So with that being said, the reindex is on staking LP. I think the only thing that wasn't reindexed was Deimos. But with that being said, there will be some weird stuff going on in the next couple of days, so I would just disregard that. As previously mentioned, in the future, you won't see that type of stuff happen on your front end, but with the current iteration, you will. So that speaks volumes to a lot of that stuff getting handled, and after that, I'll probably have a period where we start to tone down Deimos and work towards closing off the season. So that's definitely very, very soon. That should also give enough time for any outlier issues to get finished. I know in the past week I haven't addressed as many tickets as normal, but once this is kind of squared away with the data, then we'll be looking to take care of any outlier issues. And yeah, so feeling very confident about this, by the way. I know that things have been a little bit up and down sometimes, but with the way that we've gone about things, we're auditing in-house, they're auditing as well, and there's way more eyes on it than just me and their team. So the answer is hopefully by the end of the week you see what you should have been seeing.
All right, that's more great news. Still in points. How many testnet points were issued in total?
I don't have it in front of me, and Max is finishing up the pop tasking, so it's hard to kind of say because there's a large tranche of Ukrainian node runners that were kind of left out because of the way that they kind of onboarded onto Absinthe during the first run. So that's also something that during auditing we had figured out. Working on that. So it's hard to say outright. Trying to think logically. Probably in the weighting is a little bit different than mainnet points, but to give you let me do a percentage base instead. It would be approximately 20 to 25% of what's on mainnet.
All right. Also, Ukrainian Node Runners was my band in high school. It's funny you said that.
Good.
All right.
I'm not gonna lie. I think some it sounds like a cyberpunk game, or I don't even know every time. So I know quite the name.
It's incredible. All right. How many users have verified Deimos once, and how many have verified twice?
Oh man, you guys, you're gonna make me repeat myself with the same excuse here. No, so on the demo side, we're also auditing as well. So I'll give you numbers as of last weekish. So users that have verified once, at least, 107,000 in total over at some period. All of those people are not part of the points program though. Right, so that correlation is what we're working on right now. So basically, giant sheet, column A, all wallets. In testnet, there's two sheets: one for testnet, one for mainnet. Column B, C, D, E, different tasks in the aggregate the user earned on that. Column I, the total amount of points by that user. And then after that, adding 2 for has completed verification 1, has completed verification 2. Also for testnet specifically, it will just be has completed initial kind of our testnet mint, if you will, where you cannot verify, and then has completed verification during mainnet at least once. So that's what it's looking like right now. I should actually have that by the end of the day, but yeah, I think, to sum up, the grand majority of users on testnet, it looks like, did verify that got points that were meaningful. generally those that did like extremely low point, like 7 points or something, did not take the time to verify. So that's kind of the trend I see there. To compare one verification versus two, it drops off to about like 25% of users that verified 2 times. And then once again, this is as of the 21st or 22nd, so about a week ago.
Right.
That will all be updated today, tomorrow, and that's all part of this wider points audit, so that we can kind of move forward with the other dates that you guys are looking for. So,
Hell yeah. Follow-up question for you, John. Do we have a target date for the end of Epoch 2 on Deimos?
yeah. So, couple explainers here. Like TGE points related stuff. All of this kind of coincides. Has a lot of third-party external dependencies, as Max had pointed out. I think the majority of them are out of the way. The only thing that I have on my side right now is kind of working with Absinthe on the full audit. So with that being said, obviously the points campaign itself and Deimos verification go hand in hand. I want to try to give as much time as possible while I can't close out that campaign either, regardless. So the thought process is I should know within the next 2 days. Tentatively last week I was going to aim for this week. I think most likely we'll be announcing something early next week, for close by the end of next week. That's very tentative, though. That could change. I don't think it will get any earlier. If anything, it would get bumped to Wednesday or something. But as of right now, it looks like it will be next week when you'll get an announcement. And, generally we give a 5-day heads up. So theoretically, Monday next week, announcement, Friday next week, and then shortly after probably will be the season end.
All right. Oh my. Okay. We are bouncing back to a general question that just came in. Has Hemi already carried out a carbon assessment of its activities or block for all its subsidiaries? If not, are there any plans to do so? If so, are you planning to offset the project's carbon emissions, and have you budgeted for this?
That's an interesting question out of left field. As a chain, Hemi is very, very low carbon emissions. A couple servers. Obviously, once we decentralize sequencing, there's more people running nodes, but it's extremely minimal. And no, we're not. At least there's no plans right now to be doing any sort of carbon offset. In general, and as a personal opinion, but most carbon offsets are not as good as they sound. There's a lot of instances where somebody will basically, take forest that was already preserved, unpreserve it, represerve it, and then issue carbon credits for that, and it had no actual net effect on anything useful. So anyway, just a personal opinion, but the carbon footprint of something like Hemi is extremely small.
Right. Unlike Leonardo DiCaprio, who does some offset stuff from his private jet, because that makes sense. Take that, Leonardo DiCaprio. All right. Moving back. In the white paper and docs, the Hemi token is crucial for the proper functioning of the Hemi network in terms of incentives and slashing, etc. Since mainnet is live, how are the actors being incentivized and/or de-incentivized?
That's a good question. So right now, the only incentivized participant on the Hemi network at the moment is proof-of-proof miners. Post token launch, we will be decentralizing other roles in the protocol, like decentralized sequencing, and that's where the token staking through what we're code naming our converged staking system is going to be for. So one of the things I think that's interesting about Hemi is we have a lot more utility that's planned on the roadmap for the token than a lot of other projects that launch a token and basically just ends up being used for governance. So in our case, it's going to be used for decentralized sequencing, decentralized data publication to Ethereum, participation in covenant emulation for BitVM vault setup, staking to provide liquidity for the Bitcoin tunnel system, longer term with Chain Builder, staking to be part of the shared sequencing shared DA system that will make running an L3 and interoperating between them a lot more easy. So there's a ton of future utility planned around the Hemi token for how staking actually converts into real world security and decentralization benefits for the network.
Right. Little out of left field, but this actually would fit the previous category. So before we move on, what is the background of the creation of NFT Hemi hatchlings, and why were those particular animals chosen?
You know what? I don't know the actual inspiration for the the actual characters in them. It was originally a exploration of security as an artistic medium, and so basically the Hemi hatchling evolved from the tiny version into the fully grown version once the NFT had reached Bitcoin finality. And so it was a partial tech demo, partial just cool early thing to give away to testnet participants. I did see John just jumped up if you want to add anything to that.
Yes, since I was, partly, I was fairly close to the creation of the Hemi hatchlings, and it really was a case of, we were looking at NFTs and thinking, is there some way we can show off some additional Hemi feature and mix it in with the NFTs? And then the original idea was, so what if we have an NFT that changes somewhat along with finality? And then the animals was just, we want to make it cute. We want to make it something that's fun enough for people to give a shit about in some way, shape, or form. And honestly, I thought that the whole thing was kind of cute. And, while I'd love for, you'd always love for more to be done with something, I think ultimately it kind of did hit what we were trying to do. We had some really great art with some sort of cute transitions from one thing to another. And it shows off both in code and in visually something about the way Hemi works. And, if other people have ideas to do some sort of NFTs or some other art-related thing that uses Hemi, this goes right into our build something. Go take the Hemi hatchlings code, fork it, and do something we didn't think of with it. Do an NFT that makes even better use of finality, that does something more, that does, touches more parts of Hemi. Or do something with what we already have there. But, they were not supposed to be a final thing. They were supposed to be a little demo to show you what you could do, and then someone take it and do it. So, but there was no deeper meaning behind the animals chosen, Art, just like engineers do random things that don't make sense, artists do too. The difference is when artists do it, they look good.
I'd just like to announce that JCV's Cal Ripken-like streak of saying shit 3 times during a question continues. We are now at a solid every AMA. So John, please continue to keep up the profanity. We all
I swear it's not intentional. I can't even stop in front of my kids. It's just the words that come out.
I'm just saying, much like Cal Ripken Jr., you have a streak, and we all appreciate it. On to some engineering. Oh, this is a hilarious. I just want to add that the second part is actually from the question, and it's not me saying it. That's important, even though this is how I would say it. Can you explain how Bitcoin tunnels work in simple terms? Maybe explain to me like I'm 5.
Yeah, good question. So there's 2 versions of the Bitcoin tunnel. So there's the current version we have today, and then there's the future BitVM version. So the current version, basically, people run vaults on behalf of the protocol. They collateralize those, and then they accept deposits to a Bitcoin address that they control. And then if they were to, say, steal the Bitcoin that they're storing on behalf of the network, they could be liquidated to keep the system solvent, which basically means their collateral would be taken, somebody else would deposit Hemi BTC into another vault or have existing Hemi BTC they already have on the network. They would sell it in the liquidation process at a profit, and that Hemi BTC would be burned, which basically keeps the balance of collateral versus the balance of Bitcoin custodied by the vault custodians in balance. For the future BitVM version, there's probably no good way to explain it like I'm 5, but essentially there's a way that you can set up a Bitcoin transaction graph. So Bitcoin lacks something called covenants, which is a way to basically enforce spending conditions on new UTXOs. And so covenants are not something that Bitcoin currently has. There's some proposals for changes to the Bitcoin protocol that add covenants in. But until we have covenants, there's a way that we can simulate covenants with something called covenant emulation. And that basically involves a bunch of people all signing an N-of-N multi-sig that's used to basically, as long as one person deletes their key or doesn't actively collude with the rest of the covenant emulation committee, then there's no way for somebody to change the spending conditions for a pre-signed transaction because there's not sufficient people to make that N-of-N multi-sig to define a new spend condition. And you can use that to build Bitcoin transaction graphs in a really smart, interesting way that basically causes a zero-knowledge proof of something to be optimistically computed on-chain. And so you can use that to essentially validate the correct liquidity fronting of an operator in the BITVM protocol to then be able to execute a portion of the transaction graph that lets that operator recoup their initial liquidity that they fronted from the BITVM vault. So we'll have a lot more details on that with a white paper coming out soon. It's a really cool custodianship model because basically, well, it's not a custodianship model. It is providing basically one of N security, meaning that you only need one of N participants in the committee to act honestly in order to keep the entire system secure. And for people who are interacting with the protocol, maybe have a large amount of Hemi BTC or whatever, they could participate in that covenant emulation system. And then for them, it's completely trustless because they're just trusting themselves not to misbehave in the protocol. So more details on that soon. Looking forward to getting the white paper out there and having people read it and doing a follow-up engineering AMA about it. But there's some really cool things that Hemi can do uniquely between Bitcoin and Ethereum to basically make BitVM systems a lot more secure. So one of the issues with, and this is definitely not the explained like M5 explanation, but there's the current canonical BitVM2 design uses something called superblock like-line emulation as basically a way to reflect Bitcoin, well, to learn about canonical Bitcoin state within the context of executing a Bitcoin transaction. And so Bitcoin script lacks self-introspection, so there's no opcode to, say, get the current canonical block on the chain that transaction is executing on. And so without that, they introduced this superblock like-line emulation system that basically is a way for using the concept of superblocks from the NEPA POW paper way back in the day, uses the statistical unlikelihood of Bitcoin blocks being mined with a hash that's significantly lower than the actual difficulty target. And so having, a Bitcoin block that's hash is 1/100th of the actual target it had to be is pretty good evidence that there was 100 Bitcoin blocks mined on that chain. And so they use that mechanism to basically get a pretty reliable proof of what the current Bitcoin chain is that can be used in the verification of the ZK proof, because the attacker, if they were able to create, say, an offline Bitcoin chain, they could trick the ZK proof system into thinking that they fronted liquidity that they didn't. But the problem with the superblock like-line emulation system is Bitcoin miners in the system who know about these BitVM constructs, if they were to mine a block that is a really good superblock and is likely to be the best in the superblock observation period, they could choose to withhold it and then use that to ransom attack an honest operator. And so in the white paper that's coming out soon, we have some economic analysis, and basically, given the existence of paper share or full paper share pools where the miner is the one who would withhold a valid block solution, and they can do so basically for free, almost no size of BitVM vaults is secure against that ransom attack against the operators. And so one of the cool things with Hemi that we can do with having access to both Bitcoin and Ethereum is we can actually use Ethereum and Bitcoin consensus together with an upgrade we're making to proof of proof, which allows, it basically folds up knowledge of Bitcoin state into the ZK proof in a way that can't be manipulated. And so you can get rid of the entire superblock like-line emulation system and basically just have the ZK proof self-attesting to the legitimate current canonical Bitcoin state and then validating the operator's claim of processing the withdrawal, fronting the liquidity correctly against that self-contained proof of Bitcoin state. And so more details on that soon, but that's the future version of the Bitcoin tunnel system. And the way that'll work from like a practical sense is that large liquidity providers will go and deposit large amounts of Bitcoin because the BitVM vault construction, basically it's a expensive process. There's collateral needed for it. There's a lot of entities that need to coordinate for the covenant emulation that you have to incentivize them for. And so it doesn't make sense to do, a BitVM vault for every deposit. So you'll have liquidity providers who deposit large amounts of Bitcoin, like say 10 Bitcoin or 100 Bitcoin into a BitVM vault construction. And then they will use that to provide liquidity for people onboarding and offboarding with smaller amounts. So if somebody wants to deposit, 0.001 Bitcoin, they would basically send it straight to the liquidity provider. And the liquidity provider, we'd have a smart contract system that uses HBM to introspect Bitcoin and see that, hey, this user did deposit this amount of Bitcoin to this liquidity provider. Therefore, we're going to take the corresponding amount of Hemi BTC that liquidity provider put up, and we're going to, that they have basically locked in escrow in this contract, and give that to the depositing user. And then for the withdrawal flow, it'll be basically the reverse of that, where you send your Hemi BTC to the liquidity provider through this contract. The liquidity provider has to use their liquidity on the Bitcoin chain to facilitate your withdrawal and send you the Bitcoin. And that HBM contract looks at the activity on Bitcoin to make sure that they sent you the Bitcoin that you were supposed to get for your withdrawal. And then they'll, the liquidity providers basically are incentivized by the fees. So as users deposit and withdraw, they collect fees. And that's one of the components where you'll have to stake the Hemi token as collateral in order to provide that liquidity for the Bitcoin tunnel liquidity wrapper system.
I have an amazing content idea. We're going to take everything you just said, and I think we should play it for actual 5-year-olds and record their responses to it because that's $1 million idea right there, buddy. And I'm pitching that at the marketing meeting later.
Okay.
I would watch the hell out of that. It'd be so incredible. Thank you for the explanation. Next time I'm gonna say, please explain it like we're 2 years old and see what happens.
It'd probably just get worse.
Take that, kids. All right. When will the new pop payout algorithm be implemented?
Soon. There's been other stuff just taking precedent or taking priority for TGE preparations, but very soon, hopefully before next midweek with Max. So apologies on the delay there, but other things have been taking priority.
All right. Will Hemi tokens be staked/locked initially?
That will be answered in the upcoming tokenomics information.
All right. On to building. For apps that need to handle a lot of activity, what RPC endpoints and limits should we be aware of?
Good question. So the main RPC that we run, rpc.hemi.network, is pretty high bandwidth. We do not enforce any particular strict limitations, but there are anti-abuse, anti-denial of service, monitoring metrics, and if you get identified as, using it in a pattern that looks like a denial of service attack, your access will be revoked or your traffic will be blocked. But that's a pretty reliable RPC for high throughput. We also are integrated with QuickNode, so you can go and get a Hemi RPC endpoint through QuickNode as well. And we also have a couple other RPC providers in the works that should be announcing relatively soon.
Sorry about that. I just lost my mute button, but I found it here. All right. Back to building. How do most builders listen for contract updates on Hemi? Is there a real-time feed, e.g. WebSockets, or do apps usually check periodically?
Depends on the design of the dApps. A lot of them will just check periodically. We do support WebSockets, and so you can use those to subscribe to certain events. But yeah, it really depends on the dApp design.
All right. Asked that. Speaking of dApps, for dApps that expect high growth, are there any recommended best practices for batching or caching blockchain queries so RPC costs and response times stay efficient?
There are definitely ways to batch requests. So our RPC does support batch queries, so you can use those. Again, really just depends on the dApp. I wouldn't recommend caching blockchain queries in most cases. Again, depends on exactly what you're doing. But like if you were to write your own caching layer or something, it probably indicates that you're doing something wrong in the actual dApp backend design. So for example, if you were to be requesting the same information multiple times, that's really when you care about caching. In which case, maybe you could cache the results in your dApp itself, but there's probably some underlying design that's not optimal in the dApp if it needs a caching layer. So also, if you need really high throughput RPC, you can also run your own Hemi node. And so if you did, and we do have some dApp partners who are doing this, if you do need really high throughput, you can do that and then set up your dApp to basically use multiple RPCs as a failover. So, always route traffic to your own RPC node you're running. But if for whatever reason that node's having an issue, then redirect requests to a public RPC endpoint like the ones we run, or one that you get from QuickNode or whatever.
Thank you, sir. Oh, oh, what the hell? Insert builder role ad here. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Josh just slipped one in there. Um, we do have the builder role. And if anyone is looking to get the builder role, people should ping myself or specifically Joshua with a GitHub link. The bot is currently going through it a little bit and needs a little rest. So if anyone is looking for the builder role, please provide a GitHub link and tag Joshua, and if need be, me, but mostly Joshua. And that ad was brought to you by Joshua. Okay, back to questions. Are there any upcoming developer tools or services like official SDKs, pre-built marketplace components, analytics, or indexing APIs that builders should know about so we don't end up building features that Hemi will soon provide?
That's a good question. So most of the stuff around uh, index data queries and stuff like that, we're not building any internal systems for that because there's good existing solutions in the market that do it for tons of different EVM chains. So we are integrated with the graph, so you can use that. We're also recently integrated with Subsquid. I don't know, John Greenwood, if you want to add anything on the Subsquid side, but we are also integrated there, so you can use that. And then as far as official SDKs, I mean, the Bitcoin kit could be considered an SDK. So, if you're building something that uses HBM, you probably want to use Bitcoin kit instead of rolling your own serialization and deserialization for the HBM precompiles. But yeah, depending on what you're building. As far as our SDKs, they're for Ethereum tunneling specifically. There's the Optimism SDK, which is now deprecated, but it's been replaced by the Optimism VM extension. And so you can use that also on Hemi, just like you would on Optimism for the Ethereum tunnel side. And we will probably have some additional SDK integrations in the future. We do have a Bitcoin kit integration or plugin for VM as well, if you want to use that. But for anything indexing related, look to third-party solutions like the Graph and Subsquid.
All right. Is it possible for a project on Hemi to use Hypernative for monitoring and securing smart contracts?
Yes. So we just finished our Hypernative integration a couple of weeks ago, I think. So Just like you could, if you're a DApp builder and you're deploying on any other EVM chain, if you go instead of a Hypernative account, you can choose Hemi as one of the supported chains. I'm 99% sure that's live public right now. If it's not, it will be very soon. But yes, if you're a DApp developer, you can use Hypernative just like you would on any other chain to monitor smart contracts.
All right. I just saw one that just came in. What is the difference between, let me try to think how to phrase this. Just give me one sec. What is the difference between how, what Max does for work on the Hemi project and what Jeff Garzik does for work on the Hemi project?
That's an interesting question. We definitely do different things for the Hemi project. A lot of my work is around consensus protocol design, like day-to-day core protocol engineering. Jeff does tons of different things. He's working on some projects that sit on top of Hemi, stuff like VUSD, obviously working in a management capacity, managing the entire project and overall priorities for different engineering tasks. A lot of stuff on the economic side, a lot of stuff on the, I don't want to call it marketing, but communication side. So definitely different roles, different levels. My work's primarily protocol stuff from proof of proof to HVM and getting that from theory to in practice design and code. And obviously like the Bitcoin tunnel system, and then just driving overall engineering priorities for kind of lower level subunits of protocol engineering.
All right. I got two more and then a couple Discord questions, which I can probably field. When can we expect a new funding announcement?
No new information to share on that at the moment, but stay tuned.
All right. And do we have any updates for people currently with nodes?
Not at the moment, but we will be announcing something around the node sale participants in the relatively near future. So probably next couple of weeks here.
All right. I think this is a me. Josh, are there any other questions for Max, JCV, Dr. Greenwood? Okay. Well, I mean, we can wrap this up and switch over to the community section. So before we head over to the community section of things, I just want to thank my colleagues and associates, Joshua, Max, John, and John. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're both Johns. Okay. I'm so used to calling them Greenwood and JCV. It's weird to me to just say
To point
John.
out, he's actually a doctor. I'm not. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly. So, ironically, you can call
That's
it
fair.
Doctor Jordan. Yeah, there you go. To make me feel humble about myself there. Don't want JCB, showing up at my door or anything. It's happened once, not happening again.
He just shows up and starts swearing. But thank you to our community moderators, our community helpers, our intern, and the community at large. Let me turn it over to Max, the real Dr. John, and also Dr. John for outros.
All right, sounds good. So thanks everyone for attending another Midweek with Max. Stay tuned. There are a lot of exciting announcements coming out in the very near future. So unfortunately, wasn't able to share any exciting updates today, but they are rapidly coming. So stay tuned for that. And also stay tuned for the upcoming HBITVM white paper if you're interested in the more technical side of things. And like I said, we will be scheduling a special edition protocol engineering AMA to talk through that white paper in more detail. So we'll give people some time to read it, digest it, and then hop on and chat through it and answer questions. And yeah, thanks everyone for joining, and we will see you next week.
Yep, thanks, everyone.
Right.
Thanks, guys. Much appreciated.
Let's move into the chaos portion of the show, otherwise known as the community update. Right. So question. Why are the prizes of the Hemi Anniversary Meme Contest only rolls in Discord XP? Well, the reason for that is simple. As we move to the end of like the point season, it just kind of didn't make sense for this one. So that's why we offered like the more exclusive role and some Discord XP for this particular contest. In a post TGE world, I will be bothering Dr. Greenwood, Mr. Greenwood, John Greenwood, if you will. Sorry, JCV, about the doctor snafu. I know you're an actual doctor. Um, and hopefully we're going to start to like ramp up the prizes for contests and stuff. I don't have full clarity for what that means yet, but it'll shift from just roles and Discord XP to whatever a points program or whatever things look like in a post TGE world, which really I don't have a lot of insight to. So sorry for the half non-answer, but that is the information that I currently have. Okay, who is the winner of the Hemi Anniversary Meme Contest? Well, there are actually 4. If you can bear with me for a second. All right. So we had one user who had a bunch of votes, and then we had a 3-way tie for the second winner. So we actually have 4 winners. So congrats to, I will post the links for the winners in chat currently. Bear with me. These are the 4 community members who received the most votes. Like I said, there was actually a 3-way tie for the second winner. Oh, Josh beat me to it. Son of a bitch. All right. Well, anyway, congratulations to all of you. We'll get you those roles and Discord XP right now. Let me do that. Unless, yeah, here we go. There's 1. There's 2. Blop. Enjoy your shiny new roles. You guys kicked ass. Everyone did so good in this contest. Like, honestly, like, we left it up to community votes, but there were some that were so good. I mean, I know folks from the team also voted, but we didn't do it in the way where it was like, like the team picks a winner and community picks one. We left it as like strict community votes. And yeah, four folks like absolutely crushed it in votes, and congratulations to all of you. All right. Well, I keep rambling. What else do we got community-wise? Hemi Alliance continues. Expect new missions next Monday. And also, I am talking to my associates, Tiago, aka Hermes, and George, who is our administrator of public speeches. That's the fellow who kind of sounds like a UK Bond villain. He gives the ominous speeches whenever we make the Hemi Alliance videos. He's awesome. So expect more folks hitting tier 2 sometime next week. I don't have an exact date. And we might have some other news regarding the Alliance and what comes next. Don't quote me on that, please, because I'm not 100% sure. We're still actually discussing it, and we have a couple meetings about it this week of the best way to like roll out stuff. So that is actually the end of my updates. So because I promised, does anyone want the rap god roll? I think you know how this works. We'll give it a minute. And if anyone wants to come up and sing or play an instrument or bust out in song, by all means. Insert hold music here. That'd be cool if Biggs actually did that. Like when there's awkward silence, we just put in like the theme from Jeopardy. I'd enjoy that. I really want to I would really watch that show of basically Max explaining Hemi to 5-year-olds and just focus the camera on the 5-year-olds' reactions and see how much they actually figure out. That would be incredible. Who else would watch that? Would you guys watch that? Because I'll like dead ass pitch this. Um, oh, we have an Alex on stage. Alex, you already have the Rap God role.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm in it. I not understand. Sorry.
That's all right. Uh, do you
But I'm here.
do you have any updates for the community regarding here or anything else?
Yeah, maybe just let me 2 sec and I come back.
All right.
Okay. Yes, I have my note. It's okay. So yeah, we have some news on the community this week. The first one, and I see there is Mudokan here. It's about the Hemi Bros. Hemi Bros is a NFT collection deployed on the Hemi Network, and the main team was a little bit disappear. And, no given news. So Mudokan and some holders taking the part to create a DAO. So there is no DAO at Hemi Bros. And it's not really a takeover because the main team is always here, but this DAO will take a lot of importance in the project. Other news is about Kaito, but you already speak about it. The reward has been distributed, so congrats to all yappers. On air, we have managed a video contest for Hemi birthday, and actually we have 5 contribution, and we take the decision to share the prize, so 1 million air token between the 5 contributors. So congrats to all of you. And to finish, there is always NFT first anniversary celebrating. So it was a surprise created by the mod team for the Hemi main team, and it will be available during 10 days, 6 from now, and the max supply is 1,000 units, already 25% minted. So all the tutorials are on the Hemi server, just have to ask it. It's all on my side for this week.
Right. That was awesome. Alex, if whenever you're around during Midweek with Max, if you basically the report you give to myself and Josh, like you're more than welcome to come up here and do like a This Week in Community. I think folks would really dig it. I certainly do. It's all awesome news. Also, in addition, I know it's not done, but one of our community members, no one, is working on some sort of Hemi meets Pac-Man style game. That was discussed in general chat yesterday, and quite frankly, I really want to play the hell out of that. It sounds awesome. So keep up the good work, everyone. The stuff you guys are building and making is going very noticed, and it's all like killer stuff as always. Like I love this community, and I hope you guys know we're here for you, and we tell you everything we know when we know it. I see someone is on stage, and I believe they're trying to just sneak up on Foxstar and Miracle as far as roles go. So, is that David? I hold on. My screen is only showing half names. I don't know why. That's stupid. Why is it doing that? Well, anyway, I'm gonna mute. So please, but burst into song for the Rap God role. It can be anything. Just no f bombs, because it's a I don't know. JCV really carries the heavy load when it comes to swearing. So Okay, I have a question. If you're not going to sing, why are you on stage? Who did someone just put you on stage without your permission? Well, that's crazy. All right. Well, you have the option to sing if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's not it's certainly not mandatory. Um Ada is back. Everyone, this is incredible news. This is the greatest thing that's happened. I'm so happy. Oh man. We really got to do a meme contest or like some kind of contest about that. Like if that fella steals your meme, like we got to incentivize that in some way. I don't know how yet. Let me work on that with Alex, the mods, and Joshua, and well, yeah, it's really not possible to accumulate how to do that, but if we find a way, we can do that. Well, you have the based role, which is technically the meme role here, so you're already recognized as a hell of a memer, as is Miracle. But much like Josh said, neither of you have the rap god role. Um, Pretty sure Fox does. Just saying. Just saying. It's gonna be hard to catch Thanos. All right. Well, I think that's all I think that's all I got here, folks. So thank you all as always for tuning in. I can't believe there's still 58 people here. That's crazy. Just to listen to my dumb
For the next week, I promise I will find some singer. It's my mission for this week.
All right. I just want to go on record and say that I did reopen the Rap God role as I promised. So,
Okay.
no one took us up on it. So I'm just saying. That's not on us.
Just before finished our meeting, I have a strange information. It looks like ATA 10 ATA create a meme and not steal it. So it's strange. If someone can confirm that.
Wait, he created an original meme? What? Okay, someone instantly steal it. Actually, everyone steal it and repost it. Give him a taste of his own medicine. It'll be incredible. I'm gonna do it too. Josh, you should also do it. And shit, John, you should also do it. Let's do this in solidarity. We'll all steal his meme. It'll be incredible. All right, wait. Did someone raise their hand and wanted to sing? I missed that. I apologize. I was too busy basking in the glory that that's that ought create an original meme. And now we all have to steal it. Hold on, Josh is typing something. Yes, you can sing any song without excessive swearing. Excessive swearing is reserved to JCV only. In front of his children and the Hemi community. I'm expecting a strongly worded DM from JCV at some point today. It's going to be incredible. All right, so all right, we're gonna wrap this up here, gang. Well, yeah, we don't need the mod meeting this week, Alex and mod team. We can bring it back next week, but I feel like we covered everything. Literally, I think we covered everything today. All right, but with that, we're gonna wrap this up and get back to work, and we will see you all in Discord. Thank you all so much, and if anyone does want to sing next week, you're welcome to. Oh, hold on, someone's here. Hey, welcome.
Welcome.
Please don't use F-bombs, but sing whatever you want. You're muted if you're talking. All right. Josh, I'm gonna call an audible. I think we're just gonna wrap this up. It seems like there's some kind of audio issues or something going on, but let's let's all get back to it. So Alex just said that there's a gaming sesh happening on the here server. So go game. We'll see you in the Hemi server. And thank you all so much for coming. I'm gonna leave now, and I assume Alex, Josh, and JCV will be right behind me. So take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your week, and Hemi strong. Take care, peeps.
Thanks to all of you. See you next week. Thank you.